Hello and welcome back to another episode of the Rival Recap Show. We're talking Gentlemen's Club football all day, all the time, guys. And you know what? It's week 4. Things are shaping up. The league is getting going, guys. I mean, it's working out great for some of you, not for everybody. But we're going to dive into the matchups, guys. I'm excited. It's another good week for everybody. And yeah, my matchup, John Rast. 118 to 112. Rast takes the win, and that hurts a lot. I would have loved to beat Rast's team. I still am not sold on it, but he beat me. And he could have started Latavius Murray and beat me by even more after I gave him some shit about Latavius Murray last week. And yeah, I mean, just I lost. I mean, Dalvin Cook was great. Allen Robinson had a nice game. The app was telling me to start James White all week. It was like optimize, optimize, optimize. You'll get 6 more points. You'll get 6 more points. You get 6 more. And I'm just like, I don't even know if they're gonna play. He's coming out. He missed a few weeks for personal stuff, as everyone knows, and I didn't really know. I didn't want to risk that, so I was like, oh, Jeff Wilson had 21 points last week. Let's run with him again, right? No, all right, no. I should have. If I started him, I would have won. But all the what ifs in the world, whatever. I lost. Good win, John. Good matchup, and hopefully my team can recover. I mean, I have the second most points and the by far the most points against through 4 weeks. So, and I'm sitting in 12th. Hate to see it. Hoping Lev comes back this week. I think I'm only going to get maybe one more missed week out of McCaffrey, hopefully. That's very optimistic. So, yeah, I mean, I'll hear some trades. Definitely Diggs might be on the block, but next matchup, guys. This was ugly. This was gross. This was Ian versus Lynch. 86 to 79.5, guys. That is, ugh, God. And Lynch could have did it even worse, but thank God Todd Gurley at least put up 19 points on Monday night. But oh my gosh, guys, I mean, nothing going for Jones's guys outside of Lamar. I mean, he was able to carry him to a shitty win this week, so I mean, hats off there. Lynch just real bad going down. Once you get past Gurley and Deshaun Watson, I mean, there's really nothing to say. It's just, it sucks. So hopefully both of these guys can turn their rosters around. I think Ian's got a little more upside than Lynch, but we will see. We're going to move on to the next matchup. Ian gets a nice win, moves into 4th place. Lynch falls to 13th. And we're going to Christian versus Kevin Lamb. And Christian gets a nice win, 137 points. Christian's in 1st place. He gets another nice week. Hope you get cursed. Anyway, 32 points for Brady, 20 points for Elliott, 18 for Singletary. Solid down the board, 137.94. Great week. Other side is Mr. Lamb. He does not have Cam Newton this week. He had to start Matt Stafford. Still gets 22 points. Chris Carson, who looked hurt after last week, ends up being fine. 25 points. Excellent performance. Julio's going to be, it looks like a bit of a mess for you right now, Kevin. I don't know what's going on there. But otherwise, I mean, your team did all right. I mean, Cowboys defense is a tough start. I guess they are just not playable because they are letting up 40 points every freaking week. You had Tanyan on your bench. That's got to sting a little bit. But hey, he's a great pickup. Aaron Rodgers seems to love him, so that's good. But yeah, I mean, tough loss for Kevin, only 105 points. Don't love to see that. And good win for Christian. Moving on to the next matchup, guys. And we got Charlie versus Tony. And this one was a good matchup. I think this came down to the wire. 125 to 120 points. Nice win, Tony. Charlie takes a tough L and loses Nick Chubb this week for probably multiple weeks. I mean, he'll have Derrick Henry back now that he's off his bye. And I play Charlie next week, so at least he has one injury to maybe give me a little bit of a chance, right? But, I mean, Dak is a freak, 37 points. Thielen, 26. Anderson at 18. Robbie Anderson just puts in good performance after good performance. Other side, Tony, the trade really paying off. You get a combined 48 points with the decimal? Yeah, 48 and change out of McKinnon and Melvin Gordon after you didn't think you had any running backs, Tony. Excellent business, good deal. That one never really made sense to me. I thought Weston made good trades, and then when he did that, I was a little confused. But I guess we'll see with James Conner will be off his bye now, and he'll have him for the rest of the season. So that's a yet to see for Weston's side of the trade. But Tony so far looking great. Mahomes, 20 points. Mark Andrews, 20 points. He finally found his hands, thank God. And yeah, Tony, nice win. And both guys are sitting at 2-2, and we're going on to the next one, guys. And we got Joe versus Johnny, and Johnny with an absolute stinker, 88.6. Austin Eckler went down. Demarcus Robinson didn't get any action. I mean, Christian Kirk's clearly back, so you'll probably get him back in. But, I mean, he only had, 2 catches or something? I don't even know. 2 catches I think he had. I mean, so the targets may not even be there, but at least he's back. You can probably get him in your lineup at 88 points. Whew. I mean, Mike Davis is a saving grace on that waiver wire, huh? Wish I could have had that guy. But, yeah, other side, Joe just absolutely erupting. I mean, that trade with Eric is looking good so far. 42 points out of Mixon, 40 points out of Kittle. I mean, that's unheard of after a trade. 82. I know there was some Aaron Jones nonsense last year, but 2 guys both go for 40 the first week you have them, and it's got to feel good. I mean, Joe would have won this matchup anyway without the trade, especially because of Odell's week, but we'll get to that when we get to Eric. But yeah, I mean, Joe's definitely got to be happy about that trade, and he's on the prowl. He's still on the prowl. He's been texting me a lot, so I don't really know if I'm going to trade with him. I don't like Joe's tactics at all. I hate it. I actually hate it. I got to say, every single year, Joe tells me what I need to do with my team. Like, he's like the fantasy guru god. And you know what? Maybe he's right every time, but I hate it. It turns me off from trades with him every single year. Really turned me off last year, and he sent me this whole long thing this morning. Really turned me off, Joe. Gotta say, hate how you approach me. I don't get swindled like that. I don't even know if it's swindling, but just, I don't know. I'd prefer to negotiate in different methods, but hey. Antonio Gibson with also a nice week. He's one of the man's been offering to me, so Joe is still trying to make some moves, trying to improve that team even more. But hey, nice trade, nice win. Next matchup. This is another good one. We got Weston versus Sklar. Sklar takes his first loss of the season, 130 to 121. Nice week for Weston. I mean, he got 25 out of Josh Allen, who's been a freak. Mike Evans looked good. I mean, he left that game, came back. He might have even left again. I don't know, but he still got 25 points. Kenny Galladay's looking good back from his injury. CeeDee Lamb was unbelievable. I mean, everyone in the Cowboys offense seems to get points. They just don't win. So, I mean, I'm all right with that because Cooper got me 33 points this week. But, yeah, I mean, Jamal Williams got 18 points. I really didn't think he really has any fantasy value. I still don't know if he does. But, I mean, he had a nice week this week. So, maybe you did do all right with that trade. Who knows? But you'll be able to get James Conner in there next week. And Devontae Freeman put up 10, so that's all right. Other side, Sklar. Aaron Jones with 22. I mean, I guess the Packers are just, the offense is flying. They're using multiple running backs. I get it. I mean, Sklar, once again, kind of similar to last week, a little better, but just kind of solid performances across the board. No real standout to get you over the hump, but 121 points is still a pretty good week. So, tough loss, but you're still sitting in 3rd place, and Weston moves to 7th. Last matchup of the week, and this was a crazy one, guys. This is Ortiz versus Eric, 145 to 143, guys. I thought Eric was going to get his first win. I thought the curse was going to be real, even though Ortiz would have been putting up 130-something points. I thought a loss is a loss. I mean, losing to Eric, who was the worst player in the league for the first 3 weeks, turns his team around with this trade, and guys, it's just looking mutually beneficial. I mean, Joe got 82 points out of his half of the trade, and Eric got 38, 46, 56. All right, that's not as good, but like still, I mean, Eric needed 3 starters and he got 3 starters. And Joe got 2 improvements, which he wanted. So I mean, everyone's winning. I don't know what the questionable designation next to Noah Fant is, but hopefully that's not so bad. They're having a lot of trouble out there in Denver with injuries as well. I mean, they got to win against the Jets, but that's not saying much, guys. But anyway, this matchup, guys. Ortiz last night, Aaron Rodgers gets 29.58. Who else did he? I had 2 guys. Oh, Hayden Hurst gets 9. So he got the combined 38 out of those 2 guys. It pushes him to win. I mean, geez. I mean, on Sunday night, he had a nice performance at Eagles defense, 18 points. Miles Sanders only had 10, but like the Eagles defense really put him up. 145 points for Ortiz. He's looking like a real strong team this year. He's in 2nd place. He has the most points through 4 weeks so far. And yeah, but Eric, I mean, this has got to be I don't know. It's got to be some sort of positive takeaway here, right? Your team was putting up 85 points a week, and now you're putting up 143. It's breathing some life into your guys. DJ Chark with 29.5 on your bench. I guess you didn't think he was going to play or something, but looks like he's back, so that's awesome for you as well. And hopefully you can put together a real run here and not fall in the dumpster pits of this league. And with that, guys, that's the matchups this week. Let's see if there's any more trades. If I lose this week to Charlie, then I have Lynch and Ian coming up, and that makes me feel a little better considering these 2 guys just had really bad weeks, but even still, my team's kind of ass. And yeah, I mean, I might have to order my own panic button, so we will see. And with that, I'll send it over to Joe. Thank you, guys. Have a great day.
Thank you, Marsh. Gentlemen, welcome back to Safe Space Week S3E4. We are a fourth of a way through the fantasy season. How about that? We're moving along. So this week's Open is a follow-up from last week's Open, where I talked about league identities and how our league identities that have formed over the last 5 years or so often differ from our actual personalities. So I was curious, does our league have self-awareness? What do you think your league identity is? So with that, let's get right to everyone's submission. Starting off with James Ortiz, Mr. Monday Night Magic. And that's true. James, again this week, comes through in the clutch, and the last fucking drive of the game, Hayden Hurst gets a catch that put him over Eric. And that's the second time this year James has that crazy comeback on Monday night, and he's had a few in prior years as well. Speaking of Eric, he was the only person that didn't respond to Safe Space this week. I think he's in a bit of a dark place after falling to 0-4 on that heartbreaking loss. So, we'll give Eric his space this week. We've pounded on him enough in this segment. Moving forward, Ian. He says, forever making a bad first-round draft pick. I think that's fair, Ian. Everyone gave you shit this year. Kenyon Drake. It looks like it's true. Kenyon Drake had fucking 3.5 points this week. In years past, Ian picked Le'Veon Bell that one year, where Le'Veon Bell set out the whole season. Which was a bad pick, but last year you picked McCaffrey. That was good. Moving forward, Sklar, team that looks good on paper and then chokes. And in parentheses, he said not this year. We'll see about that. Rasco's easily convinced to do a trade. General lack of understanding about fantasy football. John, at least the self-awareness is there. Kevin, middle of the pack team that looks good at the draft, and it's all downhill from there. Kevin, every year you just pick one position to disregard, whether it be running back or tight end or whatever. I mean, this year it's working out, but I don't know if everyone's like, oh yeah, you look good at the draft, Kev, besides your secret admirer. Weston says one hit wonder that actually can have a few other hits. Weston, I think that's fair. Last week I was talking shit and saying Kansas City Royals, but you win that one year. Last year you're competitive. This year you're going to be competitive. My favorite thing about Weston is that his first year in our league was when we expanded to 14 teams, and I think he was kind of just a shoo-in to make us 14 teams, make us even, and he finished last that year. But his competitive genes, him being that competitive fucking freakardo he is, he forced himself to be interested in football just so he could compete in a league, which I respect. Christian goes conniving cunt. Christian, not sure if you're talking about your league personality or your actual personality there. Kidding. That was a bad joke. Charlie, scary if healthy. Maybe this year. I don't know about prior years, Charlie. Marsh goes NA. Marsh, yeah, I mean, in terms of your team and being a league owner, you haven't made much of an impact, but you have the rival recap show. So that's good. Lynch, perennially fighting for one of the 6 to 8 playoff seeds. That's fair. Lynch has never been a heavy hitter. Johnny, a witch. That's a layup, spot on. Tony, energy provider, wild card. Couldn't have said it by myself, Tony. And then lastly, me. I think there's the good and the bad. I think on the good side, I think most people would admit that or acknowledge that, every year I'm close to the top and have a shot at it. I'm definitely a deal man and make a lot of trades. But on the bad side, I think on occasion there's been words such as villain and dealing with the devil and selling sand in the desert thrown around about me. And I think that's certainly fair when you talk a lot of shit like I have in the past, but I don't want to be a league villain anymore. I've tried to be on good behavior this year because I have feelings. I don't like when people are mean to me. However, it's only week 4, so if my team continues to do well, I'll probably talk a lot of shit. With that, let's get to this week's submissions. All right, we are starting off on Best Team, Worst Team, as we always do. And for the 4th consecutive week, we have a new best team, and that person is Mr. Christian Borelli, who is undefeated, 4-0. Big data, can you please tell us what is the longest streak starting a season of being undefeated? We would like to know. But Christian does buck the trend of people that usually suck being at the top of the league, right? He won the league in the second season, so that's fair. However, Christian has not made the playoffs since he won the league, so I don't know. But good to have you back at the top of the standings, Christian. Worst team, we also have someone new. Mr. Matthew Lynch somehow overtaking Eric. Eric reset his team last week with the trade, so we'll see if Lynch does the same. Lynch, we've talked about your team this year. The running backs are a problem. Deshaun Watson looks lost without Hopkins. But the strength of your team, right, is your receivers with Michael Thomas and Juju. And, Juju has that impromptu bye this week, and Thomas has basically been a zero all season. So I think Thomas is coming back this week, and Juju will obviously be available. So we'll see what a healthy Lynch's team looks like, or we'll see if he presses the panic button. All right, so one of this week's topics was who you most likely to go out and talk to a trade with and who you're least likely to approach about a trade. We'll start with people you're most likely to go out to. A bunch of people got one vote here. Sklar got a vote, Lynch got a vote, Kevin got a vote, Marsh got a vote, Ortiz got a vote. The quote on Ortiz was, text him almost every week to talk trades, but he's too big of a bitch to pull the trigger. Eric got 2 votes. One of the quotes on Eric was, always willing to work deals if you aren't dumb enough to say no. So backstory in this was from Ian. Last week on Safe Space, I mentioned that Eric hinted that he had a Mixon deal in place. That wasn't our trade. Apparently Eric and Ian had a deal in place, and then Ian backed out on Tuesday morning. And it seems like Ian regrets that. Rast, you got 2 votes. Quote, good experience ripping him off and leading to nameplates on trophies. Quote, always feel like I could pull the wool over his eyes. I got a few votes. Joe's an early call. Usually a good third-party evaluator. I actually didn't get that comment. There's no third parties in trade negotiation. But thank you nonetheless. Joe is my first and last option. No one reaches out to your level. Last year, over a 4-week period, you shattered the amount of texts I received, even from my girlfriend. Yeah, I'm a lunatic. I know. As for me, I don't know if I could say one person in particular. I think like a third of you I text pretty frequently. Another third of you I check in with, and we have some talks. And the last third, it's here and there, but not a lot. If I were to pick one person in particular, I'd probably say Weston. I just like texting him and we fuck with each other. Like, he made the James Conner trade this week. And I was like, dude, nice trade for James Conner. The one thing with him is you should get his backup because he's always hurt, knowing that I had Benny Snell. So Weston, I'll give you Benny Snell and Cole Beasley for Kenny Galladay. That's a Safe Space special. Let me know. All right, last person to trade with. Ian voted for himself. He says, I am by far the worst to talk trades. I picked my guys for a reason and fail at recognizing how bad they are. Yeah, Ian, pull that trigger, baby. Ortiz, 1 vote, doesn't understand how trading works. Sklar, 1 vote, don't think I've ever texted him to trade, and I don't know why. Feel like I'd never win a debate with him. And the last 2, while I try to keep this anonymous, it's better if I tell you who voted for who. So Weston said Kevin, and his quote was, he once tried to trade me 4 of the worst player in the league for Julio Jones and Michael Thomas. And then Kevin voted for Weston, and his quote was, he only asked for your firstborn for a wide receiver 4. So Weston and Kevin, they fucking hate talking trades with each other, I guess. Okay, moving forward. This topic was, besides yourself, who would you most want to see win? One person just said someone that hasn't previously won. I think most of us that hasn't won feel that way. Johnny says no one. Classic Johnny answer. Ian got 1 vote. The quote was, would love to see Jones win because it'd make everyone the most pissed. I could see that. Eric got 1 vote. Some men just like to see the world burn. My world would be burning if Eric won again. Ras got 1 vote. America loves a good fairy tale story. Rags to riches, Ras. Tony, 1 vote. Feels like he always has a competitive team but subpar record. Also, handing the trophy from the league's tallest member to the league's shortest member would be a nice league graphic. That's like the Aaron Judge, Jose Altuve photo at second base that always goes viral whenever the Yankees play Astros. Kevin got 1 vote, no surprise. It's from your secret admirer. Marsh, 3 votes. I voted for you, Marsh. Some quotes not from me. Puts a lot of effort in fantasy throughout the year, and his only NFL happiness does come from fantasy because he's a Jets fan. No repeats, as in this person wouldn't want anyone to repeat being a winner, and almost everyone else who hasn't won would not be as humble as Marsh would be. Marsh, I voted for you because you're nice and put together my videos every week. And, before there was Safe Space and Beyond the Buys and all the other new stuff their leagues added, Marsh just started filming himself, recapping the week. And it works. So, Marsh, you are a true pioneer of league content. And lastly, Spencer Sklar, 4 votes. Quotes, solid players at all positions. Would like to see Sklar, but really anybody but Lamb. Team is usually AIDS. Give him the win. Sklar, everyone loves you. Good luck. And we will end on how we always end. Some safe space submissions. Not a ton here. Who am I playing this week? I am playing Christian in the McGuire Bowl. Christian, I don't have anything bad to say about you. Your team's due for a bad week, so hopefully it happens against me. Alright, let's start. Haha. The same fucking submission every week. That's from Ras, by the way. Ras, I'm blowing your cover. Every time Ras wins, he likes to go haha to the league. Fucking stupid. Weston, Tony would like to say thank you for Melvin Gordon. Tony looks good on that trade early. Quote, I need a turn of fortune, and bad things always happen to Tony in this league, so I'm pretty glad I'm playing him next week. We'll see if that works out for you. A couple, quote, submissions about the panic button. So Eric was the first to press it last week. It seems like it might work out for his team. He had a good week this week, despite the outcome. Marsh goes, might be slapping the panic button this week, so no words for Charlie. And Johnny goes, quote, I'm in serious trouble. Sounds like we're going to get more trades this week, boys. And lastly, go Yankees. Fuck yeah. All right, gentlemen, have a great week, and we'll see you in week 5. Godspeed.